born-again believers receive a brand new nature. It's God's nature. It's the nature of God on the inside of us. We no longer have that old, fallen, Adamic, sinful nature. God circumcised that from our heart, Colossians 2:11. He circumcised it, doesn't come back. It's gone forever. And He's given us a new nature. He's written His law on our hearts and on our mind. He's put His nature, His perfection into our spirit and into our conscience. And now we have the nature of God. And if we live from that nature, that's what walking in the Spirit is. Now we've got to walk in the Spirit as believers. And as you walk in the Spirit, you walk from God's nature in you. And then you start to do the things of God. And you live in the ways of God. And so the law and the flesh covenant speaks to the flesh and empowers the flesh and gets Christians to try to strive harder and be more for God and earn for God. And that actually takes people into the flesh. And when you're in the flesh, it's easier to sin and sin more, and then you feel further and further away from God. But grace is a spirit covenant because it's all about what God has done. And by the Spirit of God, He causes us to come alive and gives us a new nature and a new heart. And that spirit now wants to live for God. And grace is a spirit covenant. And when you speak grace and you preach grace, it awakens the Spirit of God in people. It awakens their spirit, their new nature. And when believers begin to discover their new nature and walk from that new nature, they walk in the Spirit and they will do the things of God. The highest form of holiness is to walk in the Spirit, is to walk from who you are in the Spirit. And so that's another reason why grace teaches us to say no to ungodliness and to sin, because it shows us what has happened to us at the point of salvation. And so believers, you have to see your salvation. You have to see what God has done inside of you, where you were born again, you were raised up together with Christ, and you received a brand new nature, the nature of God. And so when you discover that, you won't live in fear, like, oh, I'm so scared I'm going to sin if I find out about grace. No, the more you find out about grace, the more bold you can be, and the more bold you will live, and the more you will actually overcome sin.